Hello everyone, BJose32 back again with another deck review. This is another deck from Kickstarter that I just got not too long ago, finally. There was some issues with me getting it. There was some kind of discrepancy between the project creator, which is associated with a company called Magic Towel, and the fulfillment side, which was done by Gambler's Warehouse. Apparently, the credit card that they used, the Gambler's Warehouse, was used to charge them for fulfillment, was declined, whatever reason, and then there was trouble communicating back and forth, and so Gambler's Warehouse took it upon themselves to not finish fulfilling the project, and to not ship anything specifically to Canadians, and anything that was damaged or needed to be replaced. And then the creator had to deal with all this stuff at extra expense himself, and he was not happy about it. And then, of course, the Gambler's Warehouse is not happy about it. And I don't know. I don't really know what happened. I think that it could have been avoided had Gambler's Warehouse simply picked up the phone and called the creator instead of trying to communicate via the internet, because clearly that wasn't working. But anyways, and same with vice versa. The creator could have done the same thing. So let's get on to these cards. These are the Kadar fortune cards, as it says, not plain cards, fortune cards. I'll try to get it closer. So it says Kadar, or Kadar, whatever, however you pronounce it, on top, and fortune cards on the bottom. And you see this kind of a gypsy a mentalism, or gypsy fortune telling type guy, or almost Persian, I guess. On the one side it says Kadar sees all, Kadar knows all. And the other side, same thing, you know, it says a star and some nice little details as well. The top, I can't tell if it says anything, but there's some little artwork. On the bottom it says magictowel.co.uk and also alchemymoon.co.uk, which I'm not familiar with. And it says made by United States Playing Card Company, blah blah. The back, you see the back design, which, as you can possibly tell, is a one-way design, unfortunately, but it's not a big deal. And then there's the standard seal on there, which got me to thinking, you know, it would have been fine without a seal. I wonder if some creators are aware that you don't need to have a seal on the deck of cards, or if it costs extra to not have a seal. I don't know, quite frankly. But there's nothing on the flaps. But then we get to the cards. Inside, there's a couple of cards that leave me a little bit puzzled, a little bit confused as to what they're for. One is a blank card, and the other is a double backer. Now the reason why I'm confused as to what they're for is because these cards, quite frankly, are not very useful for Magic or any card game. They're more for fortune telling. So why have a double backer or even a blank card? I don't really know. I mean, the blank card could be used as a cut card. The double backer perhaps can be used for something, but the fortune telling deck, I don't see what you would use it for. The back, like I said, is a one-way, mainly because of the circle in the center, which has diamonds, clubs, hearts, and spades, and then it's got all these different symbols around. You see there's a lot of detail. There's, up here there is hearts and diamonds, spades and clubs, there's stars. It says here, Kadar fortune cards as well, top and bottom. So everything is mirror image except for this centerpiece, which also, I mean, isn't that big of a deal, and it fits with the grand scheme of everything. It's some kind of a fortune telling game or table or something, that, as far as I can tell. So with the grand scheme of the theme, it kind of fits, kind of makes sense, but they could have perhaps done it different, and I could have done without the pips on top and bottom, and even maybe the writing would have been a little bit better. And here in the center you might see there's a couple of hands with some kind of a stick, pointing at a spade and a club. Kind of interesting. We get to the jokers. This one's got some yellowy colors on top and bottom with a J. No corner indexes on any of the cards, which is very annoying. And then there's a crystal ball with a question mark in it, kind of like the card that they use for a question in fortune telling, I guess. And you see kind of a fortune telling with a jester hat, and he's dropping some coins and some hearts. The other one It's a bit different. It's got purple colors with the J again, top and bottom, black, empty kind of crystal ball. And the guy's actually got like a painted face, looks more like a clown, hiding behind the curtains. And that's that. Also looks like there's like tentacles coming out from somewhere. Whatever that's all about. Then we get to the aces, and this is where the no index thing gets kind of annoying. There is no indexes on these cards. So it kind of makes it difficult when you're spreading through the cards to determine what is what. But anyway, this is the ace of spades. Spades and clubs, they got a darker color with blue in it. You can see there's some eyeballs in here. There's some hearts, clubs, spades, diamonds, stars, all sorts of stuff. The bottom it says questions of the mind for this one. The top says intellect. And, oh crap. My apologies, the oven was calling me. I thought I would have had enough time to do this review before it went off, but I guess not. Anyways, the bottom, like I said, says questions of the mind. Top says intellect. And it says logic and organize. And kind of interesting. Hearts and diamonds have a yellowy color with red eyes. And this one, it says questions of the heart on the bottom, of course. And it says dream, intuition, and emotion on top. This one is questions of creation, and it says enterprise, energy, and creativity on top. And this one is questions of the material, and it says work on top, well-being, and home. And that's the aces. We got the aces, we got the jokers. Let's get to the court cards. It gets even more irritating. What the hell is supposed to be? Well, it's supposed to be, as you can see, Jack of Spades. What you can't see is that they have a J on both sides of the top corner. And behind the J, whether you can tell or not, is actually a spade pip. But it's almost impossible, for me at least, to tell that it is actually a spade pip because it actually blends in with the artwork around it. Very annoying, very irritating in my opinion, because I hate when I can't tell what a card is. At the bottom of all the court cards, it says Kadar knows. And then on the sides, there's all sorts of stuff saying like the person will fight for you and this person will not let you get in the way, etc., etc. Spades have purple curtains and a definite gypsy type theme, especially when I look at this girl. They all say Queen of Spades, King of Spades, whatever on top. And I was going to say they have different backgrounds. They don't have the same one, which would have been nice. Like this one, hearts. This one you can kind of see the pips in the corner. But again, it also hurts that it's not right at the corner. It's way in here. And there's nothing in the bottom corner. And this one has a underwater theme. It's like an underwater fortune teller. You can see they're underwater. And they also have a merman look to them. And they have green curtains as well, which is fitting. And you can see they have all sorts of things on the table. Like this one actually has a heart-shaped thing on the table, which helps identify what it is. The clubs and the spades, and the other one's not so much. This one has some books. It's got some kind of a dagger, glasses, coins, etc. This one has all sorts of underwater stuff. Cells, mirror, paper. Then we get to the clubs again. Very hard to tell, to distinguish that those are actually club tips. More fortune tellers. These ones are more of an artistic side to them, I guess, because they got a paint palette with paint. There's a lightning bolt, there's a star, shooting star. And they got stars on their clothing as well. Some stars anyways. Just all sorts of things. And these ones got kind of an orangey type curtain almost. And then finally you get to the diamonds. And these ones got almost a reddish curtain. It's almost the same color as these ones. As you can see, it's very hard to distinguish. If it was more distinguishable, it would be better. Also, I noticed... Tell me, can you not see a bit of a color variation between all these clubs and the curtains? Why can't they be the same? I don't know. Not so much for the diamonds though, maybe a little bit. But the diamonds, again, they got their own kind of gypsy theme. Levitating crystal balls, it looks like. And they got flowers and coins and hand tools, like a hammer, pliers, and some screwdrivers. There's a sunflower, there's a house, all sorts of stuff on the table there. But that's the quote cards. Ugh. Then we get to the number cards. These ones actually have an index on all four corners, sort of. It's not right at the corner where it should be, it's more in. And then again, it says stuff on all four sides. I'm not going to go through everything. It's just fortune telling stuff like the triumphant mind, logic conquers all, and then a plan long held coming to fruition. On this side it says decisiveness, judgment, counsel, and knowledge. But anyways, that's what the number cards kind of look like. These ones got blue curtains. Spades and clubs got blue curtains. I'll just quickly go through them. They all got kind of like a crystal ball in the center as well. They're all one way. All the cards are one way. Hearts and diamonds got red curtains. There's not such a big deal when it comes to the red cards because they actually the hearts because they actually kind of stand out. The diamonds, however, becomes a bit of an issue with the red curtains, which makes me question why they didn't just do orange curtains or something. Look at this. It does in the video. It actually looks a little bit better, but the diamonds really kind of blend in with the curtains, in my opinion, which makes it harder to distinguish what certain cards are. The hearts, not so much. They kind of stand out. The diamonds, look at that. They really kind of blend in with the curtains. It's just, at least that's what I found. Maybe you don't see it as much as I do. Maybe they stand out more to you, but they just kind of like blend in with the curtains. I was looking at cards and it's kind of like, okay, is this a 6 or a 4? You know, it's kind of ridiculous. Of course, the cards are made by the USB-C, bicycle stock, air cushion finish. I do like the artwork. I like the theme. It's different. I do have other cards that are with a similar theme that are more vintage style, older, like the Gypsy Witch, and one really old vintage deck. But they're perhaps a little bit better because they actually are usable. They have indexes. These ones, spread through the cards, it's hard to see, to identify what cards are. And it's really annoying, especially if you're looking in the bottom corner. It's really hard to distinguish court cards unless you read what it says. And that to me is a bit of a no-no. And even the aces, it's especially irritating. Because there's so much going on, there's no index, and it just, I find it hard to distinguish. You might not, you might like it. I'm not saying I don't like it. I like the artwork, I like the theme, like I said. The back design's fine. Doesn't even matter that it's one way because the faces are all one way. It's a good quality deck. Fan's alright. Handle's good. The other thing I noticed, the borders are a little bit on the thick side. But basically the overall problem is it's a pretty useless deck. I wouldn't want to play poker with this because there's no way you can do a poker peek where you have the card on the table and you're peeking because you're never going to see what it is. Especially if it's a court card or an ace. And again, it doesn't really work well for card games or Magic because it's very hard to distinguish what certain cards are. That being said, it is good for fortune telling, I suppose, if you know how to do that stuff. And it is definitely a good collection piece. That's why I got it, primarily, obviously. But that's that. That is the Kadar playing cards. You might be able to find it at the website, magictower.co.uk. I don't know. I haven't seen anyone else selling it. Except Gambler's Warehouse should have some. They did get some to sell, but I haven't seen them selling it. And that's that. I don't know if they're going to be doing any more decks of cards. If they are, they might be wanting to find a different fulfillment agency. But that is that. I will see you next time.